3:00. Great to have you with us. Let's talk a little Lions. Thanksgiving always a true holiday in the city, but you know what? Most years the Lions game, it's a distraction or it's in the background. Hell, some years maybe you find it to be a bit of a nuisance, but not this year. I was really thinking about my time in Detroit and if there's ever been a year like this. One where it's not a question of whether the team is good. They are. B, you're favored by north of a touchdown on Thanksgiving Day. And C, this town, there's just no voice of dissent. I'm the same person that, for instance, if you go back to like 2011, I thought that team was fake as hell. Then I go, they're going to, yeah, great. Oh, you got into as a wild card. You're going to lose by 100 to the Saints. Like, I didn't believe in those years. There's been 1 year of my life where this team felt real, and that would be the 13-14 team. But this team, the way this town has rallied around this team, the way America's rallied, let's call it what it is. Did you hear about Roger Goodell? Did you hear what he had to say?
I did. Yeah.
I mean, Goodell was saying the networks are trying to find a way to get the Lions on primetime more. The fact is the Lions are doing massive TV numbers. And tomorrow, as hopefully you get a chance to be with your families, or if you're going to the game, I mean, guys, tickets to the game, $500 a pop. This is truly like a dream sequence. And I wasn't here in the early to mid 90s. Now, do I remember watching Barry put up a 40-burger on the Vikings as a kid? Like, was it 94, 95? I think it was. It was like a 45-35 game. Of course I do. Barry Sanders was on a lot in upstate New York. He was must-see TV, including destroying the New York Giants a couple of times. We'll leave that alone. The point is, this is what you've waited for a long, long time. And I look for tomorrow like, am I crazy thinking they're going to play great? They're going to destroy the pack. It's going to be a great day here in Detroit. I think the place is going to be absolutely on fire. When is the last time you were this amped for a Thanksgiving Day game here? When is it? And it doesn't mean I'm right when I say, geez, I think you'd have to go back to the 90s. But I'll leave it to you guys. If you tell me you're excited about the Thanksgiving Day every year, the game every year, because it's a part of who Detroit is, I understand that. I'm asking you to incorporate the football. That when is the last time it mattered like this? Or view it a different way. That you went into it as the belle of the ball. Realistically, you go into tomorrow, everyone likes you. Everyone believes you're going to win. Everyone's going to talk about you and be watching, both not because it's on, but because it's entertaining and because you guys make it a wonderful home field advantage. I don't remember a time it being this way. The networks adore you. I feel like this is a first for me in this town. In my, I've been 98, I moved out here. 04, I came down to Detroit. I mean, do the math. I want to throw the number up. 248-539-9797. I mean, when is the last time you were this amped for the Thanksgiving Day game? David, you're a born and bred Detroiter.
Yes.
When is the last time you were this excited for a Thanksgiving Day game?
It was when I was 10 years old, and it was 1995. And they had the number one offense that year going into Thanksgiving.
That's the Vikings game, isn't it?
That was the Vikings game. And a huge Barry Sanders fan I was, and I just was so amped for that game. But since then, there's been nothing.
Was there a Stafford year I'm missing where it all fit together? See, I don't think there was.
No, it really wasn't in my mind. Those teams really, 13, 14 or whatever year that was, 13.
But was anyone talking about you as a Super Bowl team?
No,
Did the networks crawl to put you on TV? I mean, think about this. You have a celebrity head coach. You do. Dan Campbell's a celebrity. You have a team that is completely inoffensive to everyone, meaning There's no one to hate. Everyone likes you. Plus, you play good ball and entertaining ball. And you go in as a 7-point favorite.
See, that's what it is. It's going into the game. People are talking for the first time ever. Going into that 2013 game, it took after that game for people to say, oh, the Lions may be good. They blew out the Packers 40-10. But before the game, people weren't talking about the Lions. It's the first time in my lifetime I've heard people talk about the Lions with Super Bowl, and you don't get laughed at. They're going into that game like this. The first time in 30 years, they're in sole possession of first place.
First time they've had a record of 8-2 in 62 seasons.
This is wild. This is wild.
It's a first for me. But that's where I wanted to hear from the people on it. Because, I think the biggest mistake we all make is you go, well, they're going to be this way forever. No, they're not. The way the NFL works, they could be terrible next year. That's how this league works. You don't believe me? Look at my team. A year ago, the New York Giants made the playoffs and won a playoff game. This year, they might have the number one pick. Welcome to the NFL. 248-539-9797. Ticket text coming in, David. We'll get to the callers as well. What do you got?
After tomorrow, the Lions will be known as America's team, Stan and Warren.
They are. Think about it. Nobody hates them. The commissioner himself said they're putting up television numbers like the Cowboys. And who could hate the Lions? Realistically. They are, for all intents and purposes, they're the Chicago Cubs of football. Pre-Cubs winning the World Series. It was hard to hate the Cubs. They were losers. They'd never done anything. And you go, geez, man, wouldn't it be nice for them to get one just for these poor people? That's what we are.
Yeah, someone says, Mike, we weren't even a Super Bowl caliber team even in the early 90s. The year we even beat the Cowboys, we weren't considered a Super Bowl team.
Right.
Wow.
None of Barry's teams were considered Super Bowl teams. A couple of them were good. I mean, certainly maybe you came into the 92 season following 91 in the NFC title game feeling that you were. You certainly were not.
Someone says, Mike, we just had this conversation at work. People who never talk football are stoked.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I feel like it's an all-time moment. It really is. I don't know that you'll see another Thanksgiving Day game like it. I mean, last year, think about it. They were trying to crawl out of a 1-6 start. I know what that place is like on Thanksgiving Day. Now, during the down years, and fans would sell their tickets and get invaded by the Bears or invaded by the Pack. I'm not talking about that. When this team has a pulse, that place is nuts. I can't imagine what tomorrow's going to be like. And I do feel like tomorrow's a bit of a celebration.
That's what it feels like. It feels like this town is celebrating. You haven't won anything yet, but
No,
it feels like
no,
a celebration because you're doing something that you've never really done.
Right.
And like you said, 1962, 8-2.
David, the reality is, the division is the goal. Winning a playoff game is the goal. The reality is, will you more than likely not make the Super Bowl? Yeah, unfortunately, that's the case. But this ride we're on, people have every right to enjoy every step of it. And tomorrow, it's all the years, I almost resented this team. I did resent them for years for taking away my time on a holiday with what was largely an inferior product. I got angry at them. I would almost spite watch them and go, will you just please lose and get out of my way so I can go see my family? Please. You rat bastards. You're 2-7. You sons of bitches. But now, this is something where I'm going to enjoy watching this.
Well, it was always looking for something that they're going to do stupid, and then you can laugh at dinner with your family and say, look at your team, look what they did.
Right.
It was always that.
This is one where now there's real value in watching. Having the game on and actually watching it, being excited for it. Hey, if you're a person who has tickets, I'd love to hear from you. I mean, to me, I can't imagine. First of all, I would never go to a football game on Thanksgiving. The years I went, it was because I was working. But if you do go, it's a part of your family. It's a part of what you do. I can't imagine the excitement you're having, the feeling you have. I mean, tomorrow is going to be That's like a playoff game. I mean, I hate favorites in the NFL. I will be in stunned disbelief if you didn't win tomorrow. I would be really surprised if you don't win by double digits. It just feels like this is the train is moving. And I think this team wants to get back to work. That quick turnaround, knowing we got 10 days off after this. We did not play our best against Chicago. Win or lose, we didn't play our best. Just feels like Goff's going to bounce back. Big time running game. Jordan Love's going to get feasted upon. Celebrate. Big game. Big momentum. It just feels right.
It's interesting you say that because I've been thinking in my head, this is probably the perfect time for a short week.
Yeah.
Bad performance last week. Don't even think about it. Just move on, play the next game.
That's it. Get the taste out of your mouth.
Yep.
And get back to business. 248-539-9797. We're going to get with you, the people, next. 97.1.